第23集，萌萌开心等于吃桉树叶加睡懒觉。A 等于 F 除以 M。
萌萌 I see you're working very hard.
是的，克里斯博士，我在试着把这些知识和我的日常生活联系到一起。
Well, that is an excellent way to learn, 萌萌。
这是你教给我的，克里斯博士。不过，我还是需要点帮助。
Oh, and what do you need help with?
我觉得我明白如何用2个符号表示数学等式了，比如说 h 等于 t， 饥饿程度等于等待吃饭的时间。你还有没有什么别的能帮助我理解的例子呢？
Well, do you remember when I asked the children to come up with some examples as well? Let me show you what they have found. Ah, here's a funny one. F equals T. The amount of fun that I have equals the amount of toys I get to play with. Or here's one. Big E equals little e minus P. The amount of energy I have equals the amount of food that I've eaten minus the amount of playing that I've done.
哇，克里斯博士，等式真有趣，我也想到了几个。我开心等于我吃了多少桉树叶加上我睡觉的时间长短。妈妈开心等于爸爸听话减去我调皮的表现。
I agree, Meng Meng. Children, come with me and we'll unlock the final mystery in the math equation in Newton's second law. Hi everyone. Today we're going to complete our understanding of Newton's second law. Do you remember the statement of the law?
A 等于 F 除以 M， 可是我忘了这些符号都是什么意思了。
It's okay, Meng Meng. The symbols are there to make the mathematics simpler. Forgetting the meaning is okay. It takes time and practice, just like learning any new things.
好的，克里斯博士，我会坚持的。
Scientists are usually clever about naming things with symbols. For example, in the equation H equals T, the letter H stood for the English word hunger.
是的，哦，我明白了，我们用 H 是因为英语饥饿 hunger 这个词是以 H 开头的。
Yes.
所以我们用 t 来表示时间，是因为时间这个英语单词 time 是以 t 开头的，对吗，克里斯博士？
That's correct. Now, do you remember what any of the symbols mean in Newton's second law? A equals F divided by M?
我记得牛顿定律是跟力有关的，所以 F 是不是说的就是 force 力呀？
Yes. The English spelling of the word force begins with F. So F is a great symbol to use, don't you think, children? The same is true for the other symbols in Newton's law, A and M. They also stand in for the English spelling of the words. A is for acceleration and M is for mass. Meng Meng, do you remember the meaning of these?
我记得克里斯博士，加速度这个概念可有意思了，它指的是汽车和飞机上面强大的引擎的功率，嗡嗡嗡。
Very good, Meng Meng. Acceleration is change in motion. More acceleration is more change in motion. You remember when we went to the moon and found out that all things accelerate the same under the force of gravity?
我记得我把羽毛和石头扔下去的时候，它们是同时落地的。
That's right. Children, do you remember the difference between the feather and the rock that had Meng confused?
羽毛又小又轻，石头可沉了。
Yes, the rock had more mass. Remember, mass is the amount of stuff in an object. I have a lot of mass because I have bigger bones and muscles than Meng.
但是我还在长身体呢，克里斯博士，我很快也会变大了。
Yes, of course you will, Meng. And your mind is growing as well. So now we understand what all the symbols mean in Newton's second law. A is equal to F divided by m. Let's state Newton's second law in a sentence. Acceleration is equal to the force divided by the mass.
加速度等于力除以质量。哦，对，这样听起来更明白了。力越大时，加速度也越大。
Great! And what about mass? Do you understand that part of the equation?
力除以质量，我没太明白你说的这个除法是什么，克里斯博士。
Remember, it is one of 4 basic mathematical operations. You already know addition. 1 plus 1 equals 2. And subtraction. 1 minus 1 equals 0. We also have multiplication. 2 times 2 equals 4. And finally, we have division. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. The important thing to remember about division is that if you divide by a larger number, the answer becomes a smaller number.
可是我还是不太明白加速度这一块，克里斯博士。
Oh, I see. Now, do you remember the game we played last time? Children, Meng was kicking soccer balls of different mass, and we learned this principle. Now let me show you again. Where did I put those balls? Oh, I know. Okay, so we have a high mass ball and a low mass ball. If we try to throw the high mass ball, it takes a lot of force for a little acceleration. But the small mass ball is very easy to throw. If I threw the small mass ball with the same force I threw the big mass ball, Newton's second law says there should be a lot of acceleration. Let's give it a go. You understand now?
哦，我明白了，那我就可以用物理来找到力和质量，然后用数学方式相除，我就能知道物体会怎么运动了。
Great! You see, children, I told you physics was very powerful. Now are you ready to really see Newton's second law in action?
我们是要玩游戏了吗，克里斯博士？
Yes! Let's go!
亲子游戏。
Hi everyone! We've now understood 2 of Newton's 3 laws. Today we've learned that one mathematical equation allows us to determine acceleration from both force and mass. A equals F divided by m. Today we're going to do some games that demonstrate these principles. You'll need 2 balls, a large ball and a small ball, just like the balls we used in the Galileo experiment. Now take the large ball and drop it. You'll notice that it doesn't quite come back to the same height. That's because it loses some energy to the ground in making the sounds that we hear and vibrations. Now try the same thing with the small ball. The reason the balls come back is because they get squished when they hit the ground and act like a spring, storing energy that gets released as kinetic energy, making the balls come back up. The bigger the ball is, the more force it hits the ground with, and the more force in its spring. Now, take the two balls and place the small ball on top of the big ball. If we release the two balls together, then we can think of them as one object. Which one do you think will accelerate back faster? Remember, Newton's second law tells us that the smaller mass will accelerate more for the same force. Let's have a look. Wow, did you see that? Wasn't it amazing? At home with Mom or Dad, you can test your knowledge of Newton's second law simply by throwing balls at the ground. Have some fun. Bye, everyone.